in terms of the science, in terms of sorting out what's happening with the climate system and what the impacts of change are going to be, we've made really dramatic progress really in the last 5 or 10 years. And so that's a positive. It means that at least we know what we're doing, and we know what the impacts of that are going to be, so we have a better idea of what to expect if we do or don't act. A lot of the real action in the climate change issue at the moment is in some ways moving beyond the science. It's a social, political, moral, ethical, economic problem that's a major challenge for us, and the decisions we need to make need to take the best science into account, but there are many more aspects to it that need to be thought about. And to me, probably the most sobering thing is that probably the greatest impacts of climate change will happen to those who are have the least capacity to respond to it, in the sense of I think it'll hit the poor more than it will hit the rich, and that'll happen both between nations and within nations. And so there is a moral and ethical dimension to the climate change issue. As scientists, it's not really my role to comment on that. I'm not an expert in that area. But what our role is to provide the best scientific knowledge we can, so that people can make those tough decisions and avoid the worst consequences of climate change and adapt to the changes that we can't avoid. So, I think the evidence is growing. It's clear that climate change is happening now. What the role of scientists needs to be is to understand that well enough that we provide society with the information they need to make some decisions, because we have some really tough decisions to make. Each decision we make about how to slow down carbon emissions or how to respond to the challenges of climate change will have other implications for our economic and environmental and social systems. And we need the best information we can to be able to make sound decisions. And that's really what we're on about, I think, is trying to understand the climate system well enough and interpret the changes that we observe now well enough that we provide community with the information they need to make some sound choices.